All right, guys, welcome back to the Independent Investor channel. I've really enjoyed this portfolio review section for you guys. In this video, I'm going to be jumping into my portfolio. This is going to be my self-directed Roth IRA account. There is no bigger, more important account in my particular portfolio than this one. This is really what started it all for me. This is the flagship account. We're approaching $100,000. In this account, you're going to see some renderings in this account. I've taken some profit within the account. You'll see some of those renderings when I drop you into my self-directed Roth IRA account number one. I'm going to cover all of the holdings, all of the unrealized gain or loss in those portfolios in each of the holdings. So you're going to get to see that. So I really hope you enjoy the transparency. This will be the first time that I've ever done this on the channel. Really hope you enjoy this. I'm going to kick you into the portfolio now.
All right, cool. So this is the section of the portfolio that I can actually declare to you. This is portfolio number one. You can see here some unrealized gains in the portfolio. This is part of, if you guys remember, the 15,000 of realized gains that I've declared to you guys already. There was actually 16,000 minus the 2,000. So some of this unrealized gain here is in that figure in some of these stocks that have really just kind of went down since I bought them, which is fine. You guys know the scoop on Boeing, obviously. But this is really the backbone of the portfolio, starting with Apple Computers. You guys can see my holdings here, seeing where we are, what the recommendation is. You guys are going to see a lot of action in this portfolio over the last couple days. This is what I declared during the live stream, so you're getting the most updated information in this portfolio. And what I'll do is I'll monitor the market and see what happens and see if I can't be provided some better opportunity for entry into the market. But Bank of America, you guys can see I liquidated some positions here. Alibaba, BlackRock. I wasn't kidding. I told you that's what I did on Friday, and that's what I did. Establishing long positions in Citigroup. I've owned this for a long time. Caterpillar. China Mobile has been an absolute dog in this portfolio. It really makes me second guess owning Chinese companies. It really does. We had this licked at valuation above 50, and here it is in the low 40s. Just a real disappointment. And honestly, I could care less about the 5% dividend in here, because the Chinese just typically pay that when they want to pay it, not bound by any type of regulatory anything at all. But as we work through here, Dominion took profits in there. Walt Disney, one of my long cornerstones. So you can kind of see how these cornerstones have been able to really perform over time, because I keep a short leash on this portfolio. I really do. I do not hesitate to take profit, but I also really try to protect my long positions. Walt Disney, Apple Computers, we've passed a couple of them. Boeing, I'm trying to establish. Bank of America is one, Citigroup is one, Caterpillar is one, but the rest of these, honestly, they're on the chopping block at all times. Disney is one of those stocks that I do intend to own long term. So just because you're seeing a fairly heavily weighted stock portfolio here does not mean that they're all long positions for me. Federal Express is. And I just happened to enter into Federal Express at the wrong time. Had a bad quarter right before I bought it. Which is fine. I have no problem taking a fine company like FedEx into some deep water. A Home Depot, same idea. We parlayed Home Depot and Costco, which are two of my favorite companies, but both on pretty rich. And to cut back on the exposure within those was prudent at the time. IBM to get me some technology exposure, to get me some dividend exposure as well. Dipped a little bit there. Johnson & Johnson, you guys know that's one of my long positions there. Coca-Cola, this is another long for me on the dividend side of the house. Lockheed Martin, I've just went ahead and took profits in the defense subsector of industrials. I was very heavily weighted there, so decided to take profits. I took very good profit in the defense subsector of industrials. So Lockheed Martin is no longer in this portfolio. That's fine. The company's not going anywhere. I'm quite certain that I'll probably own it again. Looking for it to adjust back a little bit, and we'll see if we can't pick that up on a little bit better valuation. McDonald's, a long position for me. I'm glad to own this company. This is easy to own. McDonald's is very easy to be an investor in. Medtronic was the biggest one. You guys can see there, 25% profit in Medtronic, so very, very good profit there. Marathon Petroleum, this was actually a partial position that I sold half the position and kept 41 shares. So it actually put me in the positive because I averaged down, and the block of shares that I sold, which was 40, ended up appreciating quite nicely for me. So I was able to parlay those shares, help me accelerate and average down, and now I'm actually in the green on Marathon Petroleum. Who knew? Northrop Grumman, another great company that I did end up exiting. And Prudential, this is unfortunate. You guys can't actually see the profit that was made in Prudential. I'll just tell you it was 13.5% there. Royal Dutch Shell, we're still holding strong on that long oil position. I did take profits in Chevron in the other portfolio. This right smile is something that you guys can erase from your brain as part of this portfolio. This was a joke that I took quite some many moons ago, hoping that I would become wealthy. It's the only penny stock that I have in this portfolio, and it's such a bad stock that I can't even get rid of it, so it's like an eyesore. And then Royal Bank of Canada here, up just a touch there. Nice dividend paying bank. That'll be long in Royal Bank of Canada. That'll be a long position for me in the financials. UTX, we're up 20% in UTX. I won't sell UTX. UTX is long industrial in my portfolio. I love UTX. I'm probably going to supplement this holding with Honeywell on the other side in the other account. Two of my absolute favorite industrial companies are Honeywell and UTX, and Honeywell I don't own currently, but here we've taken a little dip in the small cap value, which is fine. This is part of my initiative for my portfolio to add a little bit more of a strategic base in passive assets, but I'm not looking to get really, really heavily exposed to passive investing until I feel like the market, I've got 30% earmarked on a downturn, and we'll really be making some aggressive moves on the passive aspects of the portfolio. But you can see how they've performed. The real estate has performed quite nice. This is 𝑉𝑛𝑋. I talk about this all the time. At 50 shares, so fairly large position there. Building a token position in the S&P 500 here with VOO, up about 4.5% there. And then the utilities ETF, which has just kind of been on fire, to be honest with you, has performed just absolutely fantastic. And then to round it out, we've got the emerging markets ETF, and finally ExxonMobil. That's been just a real drag on the portfolio, no doubt about this. I really just picked this up at the wrong time, and I've been punished for now a couple years on this ExxonMobil pickup. I've gained definitely some shares through the high dividend. That's fine, but hardly worth owning the stock and taking it into a 16% downturn. And this contributes to this unrealized loss in this portfolio, which again, it's unrealized until I hit sell, until it becomes realized, or I wait until ExxonMobil comes back. But I did take some other moves where Chevron was up. I went ahead and took profit there, and that allows me a little bit more freedom in reducing some of my exposure to oil, and allowing some of these down positions like ExxonMobil and Royal Dutch Shell to come around. And I'll wait. I really will. I'll let these continue to pay me the high dividend, and Marathon Petroleum, I'll let that continue to work. That's finally back in the black. So that's the portfolio number one in a nutshell, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I mean, this it doesn't get any more declared than that. I mean, I've pretty much given you everything. I think this is the first time I've actually ever done this, to be honest with you. I've just now got the software to where I'm able to go in and declare to you aspects of the portfolio that I think are relevant and useful and, quite frankly, interesting. for the viewers. So hope you guys enjoyed. This is the platform 𝑪𝑎𝑛𝓋𝑎 by Bank of America. I've been with these guys for over 20 years. I've been with Merrill Edge at the time for about going on probably 8 or 9 years, I guess now. But this just gives you a small snapshot of what the inner workings of this particular platform looks like on the Merrill side of the house. All right, so with that, guys, I'll kick you back over to YouTube. Thank you for taking this deep dive into the portfolio with me.
All right, guys, so we've come back out of the portfolio number one. This is the self-directed Roth IRA account that I talk about all the time. This is really my flagship account. This is number one. And, you know, I provide this transparency to let you guys know what is possible. There's been a lot of manufactured profit within this portfolio. I outlined some of the holdings that are long cornerstones in the portfolio, positions that I really hold sacred in the portfolio, for a lack of better terms. I've demonstrated some of the positions that I've taken some profit in as well. That's important. So just kind of touching on a lot of different aspects of how I manufacture money. I'm getting paid dividends on all of the dividend payers. I've taken some very good profit in some dividend payers, and then some dividend payers that I've owned for multiple years and have been able to compound on themselves. And you can also see an example there of where I'm trying to start some passive positions within the Roth IRA as well, and I've displayed those positions to you guys openly. So I do hope you have enjoyed the transparency of it, and we'll continue to do these as the account continues to grow. I'm really knocking on the door to that big goal of mine of $100,000. That would have never ever. I would have never thought that possible 10 years ago when I started this account. And here we are knocking on the door, just shy of 100,000 in the account. I don't know if we'll make it this year. Hopefully we do. We'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed the transparency. If it's your first time tuning into the message, you want to hit the subscribe button for sure. Putting out a ton of value through YouTube, really talking to beginning investors, experienced investors alike, those folks that need to be introduced to the prospects of investing on your own. Man, there's no more rewarding thing that exists now in the investing landscape than investing and understanding the benefit of eliminating the middleman and investing directly in the stock market for yourself. You are the one taking all the risk. You should render all the reward. And that's what I advocate for the individual investor, and looking to empower those individual investors to understanding the prospects of keeping all that profit where it belongs. So hit the subscribe button, leave your comments at the bottom of the video, and certainly share the message. Bring them on to the community. We'll grow the community on referral. That's where I put a lot of the value. And I just really appreciate the support of the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, and good luck in your investment future.